Welcome to Cartoonist by Night. I am Anthony Laatsch. I am joined here with D. Brad Gibson, Chris O'Connell, and our very special guest, the cartoonist and indie comic creator, Austin Ackert. How's it going, Austin?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Excellent. Welcome to the show. Whenever we invite somebody on, we ask them, what do you want to talk about? What is going to be our topic here this evening? What is that?
The Terminator.
Yes, excellent, excellent. So what we're going to do is draw and discuss the Terminator. We're going to learn all about Austin and his current Kickstarter, which you can back now. And let's do a plug right up front so people know. We're not going to just like make them wait 40 minutes to find out. What Kickstarter are you promoting, Austin?
My book, Carmine Sunshine, which is about a vampire that gets abducted by aliens and goes on a journey of self-discovery. And it's a trade paperback collection of all 6 issues that I self-published.
Awesome.
Beautiful. So while we're going to get into the intros here and figure out what we're drawing, people at home, you're going to go to Kickstarter right now, type that in, and you're going to go back that book. And if you aren't convinced yet, we're going to convince you throughout this episode. So what we're going to do is figure out what we plan to work on. D. Brad, any idea your topic for this evening?
I am not. I'm gonna wing it this time.
Ooh, okay. Doesn't
If I can't think of anything, I'm gonna color my stuff from last time.
Fair enough. That doesn't happen too often, so I'll be curious to see. Yes, people are looking at a Bert and Ernie and a Klinger from MASH as Wonder Woman. If you want to know, if you want to see those drawings, go back into the feed with our episode with Brian Wingrove for a good time there. Chris O'Connell. So we had Matt Hansel, unfortunately, had to drop out earlier today, so I reached into our guest pool, and I figured, all right, let's have Chris O'Connell back on the show. So late notice, but any idea what you plan to work on tonight?
Yeah, how would I call it? The Terminator as the skull guy.
The endoskeleton.
The endoskeleton, yeah.
So Chris loves skulls. Check out past episodes, not only his own featured episode on this here program, but that was one reason where I'm like, all right, I think Chris probably likes Terminator. All right, I will jump over to my screen to show what I plan to work on. It is not this drawing of Kevin McAllister. That was for a friend. But in honor of the mashups from last week and Terminator this week, I decided to take Bender and Fry from Futurama and mash them up and make a Terminator underneath Fry for that mashup. But I often do a couple different cards, so I have one more sketched with another mashup, trying to think of a cartoon robot. So now I'm going to have Rosie, the maid robot from Jetsons, underneath George Jetson's skin.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, that was an interesting little mashup idea, but I'm very excited because I'm going to guess that neither of these drawings exist out there in the world. So hopefully this is the first time anybody sees these.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
I did think about doing the Perminator, and I looked up to see if anybody else did it, but a lot of people have. So I might do a Perminator, my own Perminator. Basically, like holding a hair dryer, and he's got curly hair.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Sweet.
Okay, now jumping over to our guest, Austin. Any idea what you plan to work on this evening?
I was just going to draw a Terminator. I didn't even think about coming up with something clever, some cool mashup. So I guess I'm just going to draw a battle damaged Terminator.
Hey, I've seen your artwork. I've been pouring through it over the last couple days. We'll see some Terminator artwork examples that I already pulled. We'll see that later in the show. So I'm very excited to see how that turns out. So
awesome.
Feel free, if you have not already, jump into your drawings. And to everybody at home, draw with us if you want to live. So here we go. Thank you very much. That was a line that I worked very hard on scripting. And here we go. Switch to your camera views if you haven't already, if you're possible to do so. Otherwise, Chris, feel free to hold up the drawing throughout the episode if you don't have the means to switch to the camera at all. So what we're going to do is dive into our drawings, and we always want to start with our topic. So jumping over to Austin, why did you choose the Terminator, and what importance does that hold for you?
Terminator 2 is my all-time favorite movie, and I'm just like I've been obsessed with it ever since I was a kid, and I love the first one as well. All the other ones after that are not my favorite, but I've still seen them all, and I still own them all because they're Terminator. But like
Sure.
specifically the second one and the first one, I love everything about them.
Yeah, they're pretty great. I revisited those movies prior to our episode here just for a refresher course, and yeah, I know that it's not uncommon to say that Terminator 2 is just uh, regarded as one of the not only the greatest sequels, but it is pretty high up there for favorite movies too. So,
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
so where were you in the world when those movies came out? Just like age, influence, and stuff like that. Do you have any kind of backstory on your, uh, or did you stumble across it as a child or as an adult? I meant.
No, I was young, so I wasn't even born yet when the first one came out. I was born in '88, so I was only a couple of years old when the second one came out. I believe it came out in '91. But my grandma on my dad's side would play that and Jaws and
Oh, good.
Dark Crystal, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But the Terminator 2 specifically, we watched every single time I went to her house, and so it just became like ingrained, and it was like when like watching Lion King or something. But I watched Terminator 2.
That is one cool grandma, if I do say so myself.
She was pretty awesome. She was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Now, comparative with grandmas, as much as I love my grandparents and everything too, but mine, we'd be watching Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and so
Oh man,
there no Terminator or Dark Crystal, but man, I'm jealous.
Hey, Wheel of Fortune's good too. It's
Yeah.
that used to be on at my other grandparents' house.
There you go.
Okay. And while we're on the topic, even though the topic is Terminator, I think we're switching over to grandparents. So, Brad or Chris, do you have anything like movies or TV shows or anything that you associate if you think about grandparents?
Probably there's two. One is actually maybe okay from my dad's side. It's the when they lived near me. I would go over there on Sundays, and it would be The Wonderful World of Disney would be on TV.
Nice.
So it would be whatever that was. Um, and then for my other ones, they didn't live near me. They lived near me for like a year. And so in that year, I remember two shows. The Dukes of Hazzard, and the other one was a movie, uh, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. So those are the ones that I remember. So like, as you can tell, there's no my grandparents when I was a kid, there was no VCR at their place or anything like that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Anything
whatever was on TV.
anything for you, Chris, that comes to mind?
No, it's really strange. My grandparents, I don't remember them watching too much like TV or movies, but the funny part was like a next door neighbor of ours worked for Films Incorporated who did like distribution of movies.
Huh.
So I was able to see like Alien and a lot of those movies before they like actually hit the movie theater.
Whoa.
Or they hit the movie theater. Wow.
Yeah, because she was part of like a, how would I call it? Like a Films Incorporated was the one who distributed all the, what is it, 35 millimeter film basically to everybody in the world. And they were located in Chicago, or at least one of their branches was. So,
Oh yeah.
so it's wild. We could just go over to her house and she'd just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll just throw it on the projector and just you guys can watch it." And I was like,
Okay. That's pretty
That
sweet.
is so cool. So you got to see Alien before it came out?
"Yeah,
The original Alien?
The original Alien, yeah.
That is crazy.
It was insane, man. I think I freaked out when I like watched it as a kid. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like this is so cool.
Oh, I bet. There had never been anything like that. Like the creature design in that movie, H.R. Geiger or Giger.
Yeah.
I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Giger or Geiger?
Geiger, tomato.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. Like to see that before it ever came out, and that was a while ago too. That was what, like 79?
Yeah.
Yeah, 79 it came out. Yep.
That is nuts.
No, I did get a chance to. Yeah, I wish we would have had access to like Star Wars, but that was too big of a thing for that, so I couldn't. But she did give me tickets for the. She had her first. How do I call it? The Return of the Jedi. When it came out, it was at one of the theaters. I think the Esquire Theater or something like in downtown Chicago, and she actually gave us her tickets for it. And they came out with. I wish I would have had it. It was like a little promo book that actually had all the like Star Wars characters in it and everything. It was pretty neat.
Dude.
I was lucky, man. I lived next door to like, and my mom was, I guess, pretty lucky. Yeah, we had somebody like that.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Jumping back into the Terminator. Now you mentioned, the first two films there, Austin, but I'm curious your thoughts on this. And before I say what it is, just know that I'm a big fan of it. So watch your words. But how about the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the short-lived TV show?
I own both seasons. That's the only good Terminator stuff that's come out since Terminator 2.
Yeah,
wow. That and the anime was pretty cool, but still, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles beats the anime, I would say.
Oh yeah,
I think.
I was just watching the anime this afternoon.
I'm not familiar.
It has a great opening. It's called Terminator Zero on Netflix.
It's good, but it's the ending. It started getting way too kind of convoluted, and like the guys related. It was just weird, but I really liked the aesthetic of it, and the animation was great, and it was a good. It was a better story, in my opinion, at least. And I'm no, like my opinion is not better than anybody else's, but Dark Fate and especially Terminator 3, they're just not my favorite.
Yeah.
What year did that anime come on? I'm not familiar with it.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it is recent. Okay.
That's recent.
Huh.
What studio did it?
Same studio that did Ghost in a Shell. I forget.
Oh, okay. It's wild.
It was pretty good. They had Tim. What's his name from Justified? And Alien Earth.
Timothy
Olyphant. Yeah. He was the voice of one of the Terminators, which was pretty cool. I love Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, I love Justified. Justified's great.
Yeah, Justified's a good one. I really liked Alien Earth.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. Like Terminator, and then right after that would have to be Alien like the Alien franchise. And again, some of the movies are not as good, but I tend to like more of the Alien movies than I do of the Terminator movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you rank the Terminator movies?
Oh, definitely 2 and then 1.
Yeah.
And then I would say Genesis probably just, all right. I don't know, Genesis or Salvation, I guess. Salvation was good, but it wasn't great, and there was like some really dumb parts. But at least they tried, and it was in the future, which was cool to see the future war. And then Genesis was cool because it kind of was like an homage to the first one, and
that was
a little bit to the second one.
That was the Emilia Clarke one, right?
Yeah.
But
Dark Fate, I was so stoked for that movie to come out because James Cameron was reattached and Linda Hamilton was coming back, and but it just, and when I first saw it, I actually liked it a lot. But the more I watched it, because I bought it, and I've watched it a bunch of times. Now I don't ever watch it anymore because it's like not even worth my time.
Yeah,
they made a big mistake with the opening.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
And with Genesis, I like Genesis too, but I think the big mistake was they spoiled a big story point in the trailer.
Oh yeah, the whole thing with John Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have kept that. Yeah, I totally agree.
And same thing with I love T2 is one of my favorites too. But in the promos too, they spoiled that the Terminator was going to be good this time.
I know.
When you watch the movie, it's not intended to be that way because the kid's scared of him. You're supposed to think that he's the bad Terminator sent to kill him again.
Yeah.
And what a great reaction that, with Linda Hamilton and her reaction to seeing him for the first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As such a powerful moment.
After she just like kicked the ass of a bunch of guards and was just like a total badass. He walks through that door and she's like crying for her life, screaming, running down the hall. I just got goosebumps. I love that movie so much.
I literally just got chills too.
I did too. That's weird.
Oh wait, hold on. There's a window open. There's a draft coming in.
No. Can't be true.
Can't be true.
And then going back to the Sarah Connor Chronicles, so I'm a big Firefly fan, so seeing Summer Glau just in anything was like a win. And the fact that it was tying into Terminator and kind of putting into that timeline, and I thought it was so well done, and it was very short-lived. I think that first season was part of during the writer's strike or something, because that was only half a
that's
season.
Right. That's true.
But then they had, like a full second season, I think. I forget if all of it aired or not, but at least on the Blu-rays or something. But they have the first and second season together on I think it's a DVD pack that I have in my little collection of movies. But and I know it was on Netflix or one of those streaming services for a little while. It might still be.
Mm-hmm.
But that was I love that show. And I remember when it came out on TV, at the time I didn't live somewhere where I could watch it as the episodes were coming out. But I remember like going over to people's houses, and back then I think it was either they had just switched to digital TV from analog, and I remember seeing commercials that it was going to be coming out, and I was super stoked for it, but I didn't actually get to watch it until years later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I think at one point they were contemplating if they were going to wrap up the story through like a comic book, but that stuff never happened. So as far as I don't think it did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had a pretty cool ending. Like it ended with him just being sent to the future.
Yeah. Right.
And like nobody knew who he was either, which was interesting.
There's an alternate universe,
wasn't it?
It was, I think.
Is that what it was, or had they just not like that's where he got his start as John Connor? I never nobody ever confirmed it or anything.
Oh, okay.
Because I know he's like, I'm John Connor, and his dad Kyle Reese, I think was, if I remember correctly, he's like, who? He's like,
I didn't know. Okay, I don't remember that. Yeah,
you might be right,
but I haven't watched it in a long time.
It's been a minute for me too.
Yeah, I popped in the Blu-rays this afternoon as my background entertainment as I was revisiting it, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to see this rewatch through. So
it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
All right, we're gonna take a little look at some drawings. What I'm gonna do is highlight what Austin has been doing here. If you kind of talk us through how's this one coming out, and maybe your sketch process, if you want to talk about what we're seeing.
I'm just kind of drawing. I am using my phone to do this, so I can't really look up reference. So I have this card from the McFarlane T2 figure.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, that actually is pretty gnarly looking. Like his face is all jacked up. So I just started drawing that. But right now I'm just like lightly sketching with a really hard lead that is really light, kind of sculpting. I kind of do like trying to figure out the lines and trying to get the right, trying to get it down right first before I go to ink it.
Yeah, I'm digging it so far. It looks pretty cool. Now, normally I would just go and check in with everybody else's drawings, but you said a key word there that is actually going to queue up something that I was going to get to. Let me try to figure out my Zoom share screen here. behind the scenes, I always have trouble trying to find my scrolling cursor bar like disappears sometimes. Okay, now I found it. All right, so you said talked about the action figure card that you're looking at, and you said McFarlane. Can you tell us about how this happened and why this seems to be one of the greatest photos I've ever seen?
Nice.
I was invited to a it was called Comics and Conservation. It was like a con at the Phoenix Zoo down here in Arizona, in Phoenix. And so so they had like a gallery set up of pieces, and we each had a couple pieces. And then Todd, the big draw for the whole thing was that Todd McFarlane had like a piece in the gallery, and then he was also going to come down on the day that we did the little con and do like a little class for kids, a drawing class, and then they were going to auction off this piece. And then I think that there was a separate piece too, or maybe it was the same piece that was in the gallery. But anyway, afterwards, they had a luncheon for all of the artists that were at the con, which was only a few. It was like maybe 8 of us all together, maybe 10. And Todd was there with his wife and a few other people. And I'd met him before one time when he did a signing for the release of the 300th issue. I waited in this long line at this theater out here in Arizona. It was like called the Alamo or something like that. It's not like a big chain theater. It was some like indie theater. But anyway, he went down the whole line and like shook all of our hands and took pictures with us before he went into the signing, which I thought was really cool. But at the luncheon, he came and sat down at our table. I was there with a couple other artists that I know from out here, and one of them had done a sketch in this dude's sketchbook of Spawn, and Todd came up and was like talking about how well the guy drew it because it was different. His name is Ryan Cody, and he has a really kind of Bruce Timm style.
Oh
yeah. And he drew this really cool Spawn. Like it was really well done, very simple. A lot of like blocked out blacks, and Todd was like talking about how they're looking for a Spawn artist that can draw something that he can't draw. He wants to be able to look at it and say, I can't draw that, which blew my mind, because how do you draw something that Todd McFarlane can't draw?
Sure.
But anyway, and he sat there and gave us this motivational speech on betting on yourself, and like it was just so awesome. And yeah, and I think he lives out here. At least he used to. Yeah, does he still live out here?
But he lives in Phoenix or Mesa, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where his toy company is, right?
I'm pretty sure I know a guy out here that works as a sculptor of his. So they got to still have offices out here. And then the Spawn, I know the editor-in-chief for Spawn, his name is Thomas Healy. He lives out here, and I'm pretty sure like the Spawn offices are out here. But I heard a rumor recently that Todd had moved to California, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, we can probably get an answer because I didn't tell anybody, but we have a very special guest tonight. It is Todd. Oh wait, no, he is not. I don't know him, but anyways. No, but I stumbled across that photo, and it just like you could see the joy in your face, and such a cool pose too, with him just kind of hanging over your shoulder and stuff. I'm just like I needed to know more, so that's an awesome story.
Yeah, he the time that I took a picture with him before, he did the same thing where he like rested his arm on my shoulder. It's interesting. Like some celebrities, when you take a picture with them, they are like very sterile and kind of stand away from you. But he'll get right up in there, and you can just tell there's something different about him, the way he talks, and just he has this vibe about him. It's crazy. But then again, I love Todd McFarlane. He's like a superhero to me. So maybe it's just me, but
that's cool.
Super cool guy.
He's a good guy.
Definitely.
He's got a lot of like videos on like how to like start your own business and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome.
Hell yeah. He would know too. Like he's got this business mind that he's like a business genius.
Yeah.
Cool.
Give him that much. He knows what he's doing.
For sure.
Brad, can you kind of talk about this drawing that we have never seen before, other than right now spotlighted?
It's having fun with the hair, blow drying the hair and all that.
Let's try to hear.
That's amazing.
It's all about the hair in this one.
Sweet. D Brad's got the hair down.
And looking at my screen here, I've been starting with pencils and inks going into the show, so I can just concentrate on colors while running all the background stuff for everybody. So I've been kind of jumping back and forth on the colors. I'll find an orange, so then I'll do their hair. I'll find a red, and I'll do that. And I decided for Bender's eye to give him a Terminator red eye instead of the.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Very good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, I was trying to think what to do, and I'm not the best at like more realistic stuff, and I was really trying to find an angle, and then I just had that. I'm like, oh, maybe cartoon robots, and then yeah, here we are.
Heck yeah.
Whatever works the best for you, man.
Definitely.
And we're gonna see what works the best for Chris. If you want to hold up your progress, and with the blur background, if you want to try to hold it up right in front of you, like over your face, maybe.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So try moving it in front of your face a little more yet. It's kind of blurry yet.
No?
We're still blurry. Unless you were going for a blurry drawing, then you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the background's covering it up at the moment, but
Hold on, let me see if I can switch over.
holding.
Release the background.
Release the background.
Release the background.
He's gonna unblur it. Todd McFarlane's gonna be hanging over his shoulder.
No, be Dio. But well, you could, yeah.
Man, we could have really had a special guest then. Just Chris O'Connell was holding out on us. I mean, he got that early screening of Alien, so I wouldn't be surprised if Todd was just at his house right now. So
For real.
There you go.
okay, there we go. We are unblurred. We are checking out. There we go. Excellent. Good start there. Yeah, when I was thinking of the skulls and the skeleton of the Terminator and everything, that's once I thought
That's
about
what you're
the past
thinking of.
guest. I thought of the past guest, and I'm like, all right, let's reach out to Chris. So
I like in my reading of stuff about Terminator this week, I liked learning that James Cameron was working on the sequel to Piranha 2, his first director job for I don't know if it was Roger Corman or New World, some low budget movies he used to work on in, and he had a dream, and in his
dream, right?
A fever dream. Yeah. Is that like when you have a fever, you have these weird dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I assumed. Yeah. And it was about kind of like near the end of the movie of Terminator, where the Terminator is kind of crawling towards, he's all metal and the crawling towards him. He had a vision about that. And so that inspired the movie. And I think some other old science fiction shows he saw he was inspired by too. In fact, one science fiction writer loved the movie, but thought that he copied his story from an old TV show called The Outer Limits.
Yes.
Harlan Ellison.
Yeah, he sued him.
Yeah, sued him. Yeah. And so he ended up getting credit in later versions of later, I guess maybe in video. Maybe it's in streaming too that they have his name in it. I'm not sure. I haven't checked if his name's in it now for the story, or at least at the end credits.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're like something to say something to the works of Harlan Ellison or whatever.
Yeah. So I do have Outer Limits on streaming, so I think I'm gonna watch the episode and see how it inspired him, because a lot of people are inspired by stories.
Yeah.
No such thing really as an original story. Like George Lucas was like, I saw the Japanese movie Hidden Fortress, and I can see where he got a lot of ideas for R2-D2 and C-3PO, and
there's like a lot of Flash Gordon stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
and Flash Gordon, yeah, as well. Yeah.
Not to mention Ford with some of his long shots that he did back in those westerns,
Yeah. Searchers.
Everybody's like, what? I'm like, it's part of being an artist, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whereas, if going back to my drawings, these are characters
Mhm.
I 100% made up, and they're based on nothing other than my brain.
Sure, Bender.
Hey, that'd be a good name for one of these characters. Yeah.
Or Fender.
All right. All right, we checked in with the drawings. I want to finish my background before I jump into our first little. Actually, this will be a good start to the promotion. Let's start with the Kickstarter, Austin. You have Carmine Sunshine. So we mentioned at the top of the show, but if people were too busy grabbing their beverages and refilling their ink wells, so tell us, what is your elevator pitch for Carmine Sunshine?
The elevator pitch is a vampire that gets abducted by aliens and goes on a journey of self-discovery. But there's a lot more to it than that. There's like a demon, an interdimensional demon that's growing in a theater, and a skinwalker, and a chupacabra, and a witch, and basically the vampire. He wakes up with no memory in the desert and immediately gets abducted by aliens and is overtaken by a bloodlust and also infused with a strange chemical from the aliens. He drinks the aliens' blood and is booted out of the ship back to the Earth, where he ends up running into some friends and some enemies and having to do whatever he can to stop himself from transforming into a crazy vampire alien hybrid.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It sounds like you've maybe said that before, like, very well rehearsed, and sounds good.
Oh, that's good, because the vampire being abducted by aliens elevator pitch I've said a million times, but like explaining it further than that, I haven't done a lot of, because usually it's at a show and
Sure.
I don't have much time to be like, and there's a chupacabra and there's a witch.
And so this is the collection of stories. Did you like release these individually of any way, shape, or form, or can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I initially drew it and wrote it as like a graphic novel, but it was way back in the beginning of my like journey as a comic book artist, and which was only 5 years ago. And I started hanging out at comic shops to try to like learn a little bit more about how you do things, and to like get to know people and try to network a little bit. And I met a bunch of artists, and a lot of them suggested that since I had so much of the book already done, but I wasn't finished with it yet, they were like, you should release it as, cut it up into issues. That way you can have, 2 or 3 of them out now, and that'll give you time to build up an audience so that, by the time you're finished with it, more people will know about it, instead of just waiting the whole time until I'm done, which was really good advice, because now, I've been to a bunch of conventions and met a lot of people, and it's been like a really great journey so far. But it's as the as it was originally intended, as a graphic novel.
Cool.
Perfect.
Sweet.
And talking about the Kickstarter, by the time that this episode drops in our feed, if we have loyal Cartoonist by Night watchers, they will most likely be dropping everything that they're doing when they see the alert that there's a new episode in their feed. They would have roughly a week left to back. Now, thankfully, just for the success of the Kickstarter and the book and everything, you are funded already. But you're always looking for more backers. Do you have anything when it comes to like stretch goals and stuff, or can you kind of talk about what other things are included as the Kickstarter?
Yeah, absolutely. I was always super nervous to do a Kickstarter because I didn't want to fail. I felt like it would be such a huge blow to not make the goal, and it would be like cementing the fact that nobody cared about the book. But I was so wrong, because within like 7 hours I funded. Now, I had a really low goal of 500, but we made it like in the first 7 hours. And
awesome.
So now basically all the extra money that I'm making, I'm just hoping to invest in a bigger print run so I can have more books for shows and stuff. But
good. Yeah.
Cool.
I got a bunch of the stretch goals so far are I drew the cover picture, and then Jevin Loop, our mutual friend, I showed it to him, and he's like, "Oh, you should let me color that." And so I sent him the PDF, and he colored it, and he killed it.
Nice.
So the first stretch goal is everybody that's a physical backer gets a print of that image, and then I have 4 pinups in the book from other artists that I admire. One of them's by a guy named Ryan Leby, who is out here in Arizona, and then Hans Fink, who's also here in Arizona, who you know as well, and then Jevin. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use the image he already colored or if he's going to draw me a new one, but we'll see. And then there's a guy named Ian Cinco who lives in New York. He's an amazing artist. I met him here when he was at a show here in Arizona, and he's just so awesome. But he's going to draw a pinup as well. And so the next stretch goal I have is everybody's going to get prints of all the pinups, and then I'm also going to draw a little sketch. I have a little area in the front of the book that I can draw a little sketch in. So I'm going to draw everybody a sketch in their book, everybody that gets a book or whatever.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So
I have a question. I have a question. Question.
Yeah.
So how easy was it to break up the graphic novel into a comic? Like issues?
It was, so I had to find, like, it's weird. It was almost like fate that it ended up this way.
Yeah.
But I counted out like 22, 23, 24 pages to see like, where it would fall in the story. Yeah. And it ended up being at an okay place that I could say would be, kind of like a cliffhanger, I guess, or a good place to stop to end the book. Yeah. It didn't work out completely perfect. And it's not like you can tell, like, I left you on a huge cliffhanger each issue, but it actually was a lot easier than I thought. I was going to go and check it, and it was just going to make no sense. There's going to be no way that I could cut it up, but I totally could. And I cut it into 6 books, and it's like 150 pages long or something like that altogether. Oh, yeah. The story itself.
Fun.
Yeah.
So do you have any anime or manga influence?
Not really. I've never been a huge manga fan or anime fan. I do like a couple anime things, especially the movie Akira, and then Kiki's Delivery Service I really like as a kid. But I never really got into anime or manga, really. I was more into American comics, and then cartoonists and stuff. People that were, especially when I was growing up and I was really young, it was the like Sunday Funnies stuff that I was super into.
Like what?
Like Zitz and Garfield. What's the one with the cavemen? BC,
yeah.
Johnny Hurt. And the dude that has the egg-shaped head that's like really doofy. I forget his name. Ziggy or
Ziggy. Yeah,
Ziggy.
They should be Doofy.
Doofy, yeah. he totally is a doofus, but a great design,
Yeah.
And Calvin and Hobbes, of course, too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No Far Side?
Far Side, yes, absolutely. Like, how could you not like the Far Side?
How about comic books? Do you have influences other than Todd McFarlane?
Oh, yeah. Especially growing up, I was really into Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, Jonan Vasquez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I really liked Mad Magazine. I liked Robert Crumb a lot.
Wow.
And Jim Mahfood is one of my mega heroes too, up there with Todd McFarlane. I've actually gotten to meet him and gotten to know him a little better. He remembers who I am, which is a good thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
Definitely. He's a super nice guy. And then I've been really getting into I don't know if you guys listen to the Ink Pulp podcast.
Yeah.
So
I just recently met Sean Crystal and what's his Matteo Scalera.
Yes. What were they like?
Oh, they're awesome.
That's
both
so
super
cool.
Nice guys. I asked them so many out there questions. But they sat there and they were very pleasant. I'd say like Mateo is like awesome, man. I've never met anybody who's like a workhorse like he is.
Oh yeah, dude,
Like
for sure.
trying out different like washes and stuff like that. The recent one I was watching was with him and like using beat up like ink pens.
Really?
Yeah, and him talking about how Sean Murphy and some other people like helped him like kind of like work
Oh,
out like that aspect of things. It was pretty
oh, yeah.
interesting.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. What's it called?
Ink pulp.
Ink Pulp. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's got his own. Mateo Scalera just released, isn't it? Or does he's got a Kickstarter too?
Yeah, the fourth father.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about that, and I saw him.
That's so cool. Where did you see him? At New York Comic Con or something?
No, he was at the C2E2 in Chicago, believe it or not.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
always wanted to go. That was recent, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've always wanted to go to that, dude. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
C2 is great.
And then, believe it or not, Philip Kennedy Johnson was there. So I asked him about who was it? Nick Klein. So that was interesting too, because he talked a little. I was like, come on, man, you gotta tell me about this guy.
Dude, Nick Klein is amazing.
And finally, he told me about him. He's like, yeah, he's kind of like going in between issues, one he'll swap out and then he'll do like this world building. So now he's like painting. 'Cause
What?
yeah, I was asking about that in Immortal Hulk. I was like the one of the last issue or Infernal Hulk, I should say. One of the last issues he does like full on painting
Whoa.
Wow.
of like the whole landscape. He took like this whole thing. It looked like Candyland, like that just totally went wild, And I was just like, what? I was like, he painted that whole thing, and he goes, "Oh, you noticed?" And I go, "Yes." I noticed. I was like, "Is he gonna be doing more of that?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it'll be like kind of like every 4 issues or so, he'll go back in and start doing that." And I'm like, "Thank you, finally."
Dude, that's insane.
So it's
Yeah.
like on canvas. He's painting on canvas
No, he's painting like the actual pages.
on the actual pages.
Yeah, he's like using I don't know if he's using vellum or if he's using because I know what do you call it? Scalera uses like vellum to like do a lot of his washes and stuff like that. I know same thing
Really?
with Baltazar because he was just like, I just do painting. He's like, I got rid of that, the what do you call it, the flat stuff. So I don't know if those guys are using Bristol or I should say Nick Klein is using Bristol or not. But I would imagine maybe not. I don't know what he's using as far as to paper. That's what I should have asked him, but I'm talking to a writer, so I don't know if Philip Kennedy Johnson would know that. I could
Yeah.
be wrong. He might, but a lot of people who are writers might not be interested in. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, well, what kind of tools does he use? What kind
Right.
of
Yeah.
paper is he using?
I don't know.
Yeah. But the one thing I'll say before I try not to take over the conversation.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starman's coming back.
Really?
Yep. I met Wade Van Grawbadger at that show and was actually got him to like tell me that him and Tony Harris have already got one book already into it.
Damn.
And he showed me the inks and everything for it. I was like,
Who's publishing it?
I think it's something on DC, wouldn't it be?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, like if it would be their Black Label or I'm assuming, right? Because it used to be Vertigo, right?
Yeah, it used to be Vertigo. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Robinson's writing it or what's going on. That I didn't ask, but it was cool to like see him like actually show me like a whole ink page of like everything. I was like, yes.
Nice.
That's so cool.
It's like that was the coolest. That was one of the coolest things out of the show. I was like talking to those guys, and finally getting them to like talk about things they didn't want to talk about.
Man, seeing Alien earlier, seeing the Starman page earlier.
Yeah,
What's
what
going
the
on?
heck?
Yeah, I
Chris,
know.
who are you, Chris?
Who are you?
I guess I guess I was just lucky to be at the right place at the right time because
You're like you're Forrest Gump.
yeah, I guess for the moment, right?
Yeah, just for that, nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
yeah,
yeah.
I would have liked it. It was fun.
All
Super
right.
nice guys. And then Jesse Hernandez was there.
Oh, he Urban Aztec?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Super nice guy. I've met him a few times.
I talked to that guy for like an hour and a half. Everyone
Yeah,
was
he's super
like,
cool.
I was like, that guy's like the nicest guy in the world.
I know, and he looks like he'd be like, kind of like tough and like, I don't know, maybe more old school and kind of grumpy, but he's a super nice dude.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be like a wrestler or something. He's this really jacked guy. You're just like, wow, man. You're like, I looked over and I go, Urban Aztec. Why do I know that name? And I looked over and I go, oh, yeah, Jesse Hernandez. And he's just like, yeah. I was like, wow. I got like, it was like, what is this, a rock star moment or something?
That's awesome, dude. His stuff is so good.
Oh, yeah. He was doing an AC/DC poster.
What?
Yeah, he's doing. Yeah, he just got like acknowledged by was it San Francisco Giants as one of their big guys or something? I can't remember. I mean, this guy is like he's so like chill and he's like, these guys are constantly giving him stuff to do. I was like, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude.
And it's funny because like all these people are like walking by and they're like, well, who's this guy? And I'm like, you can't even tell just by his figures. They like say it all.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's so awesome that he's getting his he's basically like you said, like a rock star, dude.
Yeah. It's so funny. He showed me the turtle stuff he was doing.
Oh yeah. I think I saw that. Well, maybe I didn't. I can't remember.
I got the two Godzilla ones that he's done.
I've definitely seen the Godzilla. You got those?
Yeah, I didn't buy the actual book, but I've got like the full size poster.
Oh, I thought you were talking about some of his little sculptures.
No, I wish. I got one of his dudes from like the old days. Like here, I'll show you. I got like all his old stuff.
Stand by, everybody. In the meantime, I think I'm about done, maybe minus some details, but here's some of my Terminators.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's how old. I mean, I've like known this guy since like he first started.
Dude, wow. That's sick.
That is so fun. I love it.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's even better than the Godzilla.
Yeah, he's like, you got that? I was like, yeah, dude. I've had this since like it came out. He's like, yeah. I was like, of course, now probably it's crazy. I had some of his little dudes too, like little Aztec warrior guys that he had.
That's so awesome.
He's such a nice guy.
He is, dude. He's really cool.
And he'll sit there and talk to you about everything. He doesn't care. He's like, he'll talk about the whole business, doing murals, working for like Nickelodeon, doing like all this other stuff. And it's just like, he's just like, it's cool.
No big deal.
God.
Well, let's see here. I am going to switch gears here because I have something prepared in the background. We're going to learn more about our guest, Austin, here. What we're going to do is we're going to show off some images of his artwork that I pulled from his social media, things that kind of intrigued me. And while I show these off to our audience here, Austin, if you can kind of give us your origin story into becoming a creator and your artistic journey. So feel free to dive right in and tell us all about Austin Ackert.
All right. so I am pretty new to the whole comic scene. It wasn't until like around 2020 that I really started working on this book, at least drawing it. I had worked on writing it for a little while, but yeah, I wasted a lot of time in my early 20s. I should have been doing this stuff back then, but yeah, that you can see I really like Terminator.
Yeah.
I did a whole bunch of those.
Fun.
But yeah, yeah, damn, I lost my train of thought. I really don't know. Ask me some questions, I guess.
So yeah, early into starting, you should have done this earlier, but you got into making comics roughly around 2020, 2021, it sounds like.
Yes. And then I've been in a few books. I went, I started going to comic shops, like I was saying, and meeting artists and trying to network. And so I did a book called The Adventures of Gabe's Cave that was for this publisher named Aquatos Comics, who it's this guy named Rob. He's basically the guy that owns it and goes and does all the shows and stuff, and publishes all the books. But he works with an artist named Tone Rodriguez, who used to live out here in Arizona and was kind of a local hero of mine. And I never got to meet him when he was here in Arizona, but I finally got to meet him through Rob. And then since then, I've gotten to know him really well. And Rob and this other guy from out here in Arizona named Mike, who does a lot of Whatnot streams and stuff and sells books. They went to this Tremors festival in I believe it was maybe Lone Pines where they're going to have it now. But and I think it was in Santa Fe. Anyway, they met the people from the first Tremors movie, and they were talking about there was like a scene in one of the movies where they showed a Tremors comic book, and they were asking him, how come you never did any marketing, or was that ever a real comic? And they were they never did any merchandising for that movie at all. And somehow the conversation got steered around to, if you want to make a Tremors comic book, feel free. And so when they said when Rob and Tone were talking about making a Tremors comic book, I was like, sign me up. I want to be part of that. So that's probably the thing that draws the most people to my table, or maybe the biggest thing I've been part of so far, is that Tremors comic book. Because just so many people know the movies, and it has like this fan base that you wouldn't necessarily think that Tremors had. But it actually has like a lot of people they love that movie. So I've worked on the Tremors comic, and then I met through listening to the Cartoonist Kayfabe
good
YouTube.
show.
I met there's like a Facebook group called Cartoonist Kayfabe Ringside Seats, and through them I met this guy named Eli, who he started Cosmic Lion Productions, which is like another indie publisher, and I've been a part of a few of their things, and they're actually starting to take off, doing really well. They got a lot of really amazing artists and have published a lot of really cool books, if you ever get a chance to check them out. But I was part of a couple of their books, and part of a couple of anthologies, including Hans Fink's little anthology.
Yeah.
And and then I had my own book, obviously, the Carmine Sunshine. And
I have a question.
Yeah.
What did you do in the Fink book?
So
I did.
Here we are, just for those checking it out. I do have the Pulp Oddities book.
Nice.
Go back to the Hans Fink episode. So Austin's name has actually been shouted out on Cartoonist by Night before, because that name was dropped a couple times throughout that episode. And
nice. That he shouted. He said your name. Oh, that one. Oh,
the WTF Wolf.
Yeah, I love that one. That was a good one.
So if you want to talk about what your contributions to this.
Yeah. I met Han at a show out here. The few of the guys, like that guy named Ryan Cody earlier that I told you about, that Todd McFarlane really liked his Spawn that he drew.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's a colorist for DC. He's worked on a few different titles, and him and a few other guys are like the bigger guys that like professionals out here in Arizona that actually work for the big three and have done like big, publisher work or whatever. And he puts on a show called the Arizona Comic Arts Festival, called ASCAP for short, every year. And they had like a little spin-off show at this hotel that they called Foundry Fest. It might have been that or the Cocktails and Comics. They've done a few. And Hans came to one of those and introduced himself to me and was like, I'm working on some stuff, and would you be interested in ever working on anything with me? And I was like, hell yeah, because he showed me a little bit of his stuff. He had a little pamphlet. It was like a little mini magazine, a little mini comic he made, which was really interesting. And the Flargle Snorple Dork,
yes,
Yeah.
his little ad that he made, I thought that was awesome. And he just ended up being a really cool guy and hit me up on Instagram and asked if I wanted to work on the Pulp Oddities, and I of course said yes right away. And he had such a cool story. That one was a lot of fun to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then he also had me do the one in the back of the book. So I think he said I'm the beginning and the end of the book.
Yeah.
He was gonna have another artist do that one, but they were busy, so he had me do the old people side effects story in the back of the book, which that one was a lot of fun too, because it was like just body horror and old people doing water aerobics, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, showing up some of the images there. A little.
Oh yeah,
right.
He's got such a unique coloring style. I didn't picture the way he colored both of the stories. Surprised me, because I wouldn't have pictured it that way, but it was like, it's a pleasant surprise. He's got a very unique, you can tell that it's Hans when he colors stuff,
And so looking back and, realizing that your name has been said on this very show, that I had examples of your work in physical form, and then realizing that even before that, I had owned some of your stuff without even knowing it. So can you talk about this this collection, this anthology type collection?
Yeah. The Batman Year What? I totally forgot to mention that one. That was around the same time I met Eli, and through the Cartoonist Kayfabe. I forget how I found out about 100% Comics, but they had a little thing. I think it was on Instagram that was like a open submissions for this Batman Year One parody spoof comic. And at that time I had 0 credits to my name, and that was right around the same time that I was starting out and like going to comic shops and meeting people. And I figured I needed, it was all unpaid, just like you submit stuff just to have your name and your work in the book, and that was perfectly worth it to me. And yeah, I was part of that. And you were allowed to either redraw it exactly as it was, or basically do whatever you wanted. Make something new, make a parody, do something completely different, take the script and like write it how you would have done it if you were Frank Miller. So I just took mine and spoofed the crap out of it, and probably it's very adult rated, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, that book was awesome.
Yeah, I found out about it through my friend Lisa Gullickson has a page in here. She is one half of the Comic Book Couples Counseling podcast.
Oh, I listened to them.
Husband Brad, but yeah, Lisa, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was her first, because they both got into an anthology down the road as well, but I think this was her first published art. Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, she did this one that had a version of Kermit and Miss Piggy, and she had shared it with me, knowing my Muppet love, and then I was just like pouring over that, and then so it was fun to read the what you've worked on and then realize, oh, I also have that too. So it's kind of cool that all this time I had some of your work. So
that is so cool. Like I didn't know I've listened to their podcast. I especially like their episode that they did kind of recently with Daniel Warren Johnson when he was out in
sure.
in San Diego, I think it was, at that comic shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so cool. I didn't know that was her first stuff, because that was the first stuff I submitted, but I think that came out after the Wizard magazine thing I was part of for Cosmic Lion, which was like their cartoonist kayfabe homage to the Wizard magazine, but it's spelled different. And but yeah, and that came out before the other one, but I submitted the stuff to it after the other one.
Oh, okay.
I know I've purchased something from Cosmic Lion before. I think I saw them in a Chicago con, but I'm trying to think back what that was. So I'll have to look back into that.
They got a few. They got a really good book called Ghost Man, which is by an artist named Raymar Brunson, and then they've got this book called Space Knights. This guy named Kevin Anthony Catalan, who's just like one of the most amazing artists you've ever seen. That's his book. And then they've got Frankie Boy Monster by Morgan Herron.
That's what I have, all of those issues. I love Frankie Boy Monster.
Nice, dude. Nice. I have a pinup in his upcoming issue.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought all those because I saw them at the table, and I think I had already seen them in the catalog, and I had them like pre-ordered, and then I was right there, and like he wasn't there, but they were selling them on his behalf for that specific convention. But then I had to do a deep dive and get the other issues, and I think there was a Kickstarter for one of them or something too. But
nice. Yeah, I think you're right.
Cool. But yeah. Once I was going through your list of credits, and I'm just like, oh, I know this, I know that, I know this. So that's cool.
Nice. I'm glad that I was part of stuff that somebody knows, because for a while I felt like I was just, nobody knew what I was doing.
And
I like it.
You also did some sketch card work or tops cards, or what was that? Can you tell us?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that too. And that's probably the most professional stuff I've done is those sketch cards for Upper Deck. So technically I can put Looney Tunes, X-Files, DC Annual, and Scooby-Doo all on my in my portfolio or my resume, because I have worked on those official cards for Upper Deck. But that one's a lot of fun. I really love doing those sketch cards. I do a lot of them. I have a whole bunch. I made my own little backing for a sketch card, so I have like my own little sketch card series that I have a little book of that I sell at shows. And of course mine aren't officially licensed characters, but yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Future Anthony, take care of that. Cut that out. Cool. I have a couple more images just to finish out.
Ooh,
actually, maybe that was the last one, because we went through. Oh no, here we go. I knew I had this one. Dawanawanga.
Oh yeah.
That's an oil painting I did over around Christmas time when I was messing around, because I knew I wanted to paint my mom an oil painting for Christmas, but I needed to practice because I hadn't done it in a few years. And so I was, every day after work I'd come home and do a different oil painting, and that was one of them.
Yeah, this is excellent. I love this.
Thank you, man.
What did you end up giving her for Christmas?
Her name is Melissa, and it means honeybee. So anytime I ever make her anything, it's usually like a bee related thing. So it was a painting of it was a really stylized painting of a honeybee with really chunky paint. It turned out really cool, but definitely didn't look like that, or like the other. Like I was doing trying to do portraits with those other ones, and with hers it was more like experimental looking.
That's awesome. I'm sure she loved it.
Oh yeah, she did. They've always been really supportive of my art, which I'm really lucky, because I've heard a lot of people that have said that their parents were like, oh, it's great that you like to draw, but you'll never make a living like that. And they always encouraged me to try to make a living at it and do something with it. But of course, I didn't listen to any of that. And now I'm late in the game, but that's one thing they were always supportive of.
That's what I was going to follow up on, like where you're talking about, getting into making the comics and stuff pretty late in the game. But as far as just drawing in general, so have you always been drawing, or is that even a late in the game addition?
No, definitely always been drawing. Yeah, I've always been, the one of the better drawers in the class or whatever, the drawing when I shouldn't have been in class. One time I even got suspended for my drawings in high school because I had like a little notebook and I thought I was going to be Kurt Cobain when I grew up. So I was like drawing all this super obscene stuff because his journals had just come out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm so moody and philosophical and cool. And so, there was a lot of really inappropriate and maybe in their eyes, it probably was scary stuff that made them, one time we got in trouble at school, at the school by the security guards. So they took me and a few friends up to the office and they searched us and they found my notebooks and they were going through them. And that's what I got suspended for. And the other kid who had the stuff that you should have been suspended for, he got like in school suspension and I got like 3 days for the drawings I had in my notebook, but whatever.
I should have been private.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at you now. You're here on Cartoonist by Night. You have a successful Kickstarter, and people still have 1 week. If you're watching this right when we drop it, there's still some time to back it and check that out. So very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take another look around at the drawings, and as we focus on Austin's, is there any other Terminator stuff that you wanted to talk about at all? Any lingering thoughts or things you wanted to get to?
Me?
Yeah. Anything that comes to mind that we didn't touch on yet?
I heard that they're going to have Ryan Gosling play the Terminator in the next one. Have you heard that?
I have not.
No, I have not.
I don't know if it was an April Fool's thing or if it was true because I saw it on April 1st, but then I saw it again later.
Oh, yeah.
On a post.
Interesting.
I think I know that James Cameron was wanting to reboot it a couple years ago again. So like while he was working on Avatar, he had some ideas for Terminator he was writing.
Yes, and that's exactly what they were saying is that James Cameron's next Avatar film or whatever, or not Terminator film, was going to have Ryan Gosling as the Terminator, and I just don't know how I feel about that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I loved him in Blade Runner.
Sure.
Yeah.
I saw Project Hail Mary's awesome.
Yeah, was it good?
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I want to see that.
What's that on?
Well,
TV?
It's just in theaters at the moment.
Oh, it's in theaters. I didn't know it was in theaters.
Yeah, because it's a book adaptation, if I'm not mistaken, and
by the guy who wrote The Martian.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's currently in theaters, and
doing well.
Based on its success, I assume it'll probably be there for a while before it hits any platforms of sort. But
okay, I thought it was a streaming only thing. I'm gonna have to maybe take a trip to the movie theater.
Yeah, I'll say this: like, I went in completely blind. I usually see at least one movie a week, and whether it's something I've been looking forward to, but if there's something that's not something I was counting down to, I often look and just be like, "Oh, Ryan Gosling in space. He was just on SNL. I always like him on there, and I like him generally in anything I see, but I don't specifically go out to for him." And then so I went in blind, not knowing anything about it, and I saw the runtime, and it a little bit hesitated me because I'm just like, all right, am I going to be into this? And it could have been longer. I loved it. So.
Oh man, yeah. Now I'm gonna definitely have to check this out.
Yeah, very very unique film, and yeah, it's very good.
Whew.
And what's interesting, and it's not too big of a spoiler, but part of his face gets blown off, and he has this red glowing eye, and then he's running around in a leather jacket, and it's a Terminator prequel. I should just tell you, it's a Terminator.
Oh man,
It's a J.J. Abrams type of thing where he's kind of leading you down calling it one thing, and then you find out it's part of the
Clover. It's another Clover.
Yeah,
Cloverfield.
So Project Hail Mary, it's all just it's a running title, so it's a
dude. That's funny that you say that, because I heard that new Ewan McGregor dinosaur movie is it's like tied to the Cloverfield universe.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's called like
Anne Hathaway in it too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw that trailer. Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, it does. I'm a sucker for dinosaurs. I freaking love dinosaurs. I collect dinosaur toys and
perfect. Yeah.
Well,
like Jeff.
Yeah. I was gonna say, then we have an episode of Cartoonist by Night for you, because Jevin Loop chose dinosaurs, and that was our topic.
Dude, I have a dinosaur drawn by Jevin Loop. Actually, hold on, I gotta grab it.
Awesome. While we wait, Chris, if you want to show off progress on your drawing.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there's the inks that we know Chris O'Connell for. Cool. And
all right, check this out.
Oh, I'm gonna blow that up. Spotlight here.
Oh, wow.
It's a Dilophosaurus.
That's awesome.
Jevin Loop.
Awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I've got a couple pieces from him. I just recently got a Gonzo from him. I'm a big Muppets fan, so
dude, that's so cool.
Anytime he's got some kind of Kickstarter thing, they keep having like a sketch card tier and stuff like that, and just being like, "Yep, all right, I think
you're gonna have a good Gonzo collection."
Yeah, I get that, and I think Jevin drew the Tick for me. I bought a couple other pre-drawn ones that he was putting up for sale, but I've got a handful of stuff. But yeah, Jevin's awesome.
Yeah, and such a nice guy too.
Totally. We're going to take another look at Austin's drawing here. Can you talk us through how this one's turning out for you? Oh,
I'm just spotting the blacks.
That melting face is cool.
Yeah. Thank you. I think I'm gonna color it. How much time are we at right now?
So we are going to be kind of wrapping things up here, but what we do part of the show is that everyone's seeing the drawings right now, but in the credits, everyone sees the final art. So if you do plan to color it and stuff too, that will be something that we can include definitely in the end.
Nice.
But yeah, we wanted to make sure we covered everything. We've talked, showed off those images. We talked about your artistic journey in creating the comics. We've been learning about the Terminator. Oh, I had one Terminator thing to talk about. The Terminator comic books.
Right.
I double checked my catalog here because I've read the Terminator 1984 series that was done by Zach Whedon and Andy McDonald, and I was kind of curious. I don't know how many Terminator comics are out there, but does anyone have any history with Terminator comics and what's out there?
No, I do not.
No,
sorry.
I know Terminator, I think it's called Scorched Earth. It was Alex Ross's first published work.
Oh, wow.
It's really good. I think it's all watercolor, Alex Ross, full painted, and it's like in the future. It's at the future war kind of thing. It's really good. And then there was Terminator versus, Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator.
Wow.
That was super cool. I never read a whole lot of it, but I bought a couple issues when I was a kid just because the cover looked cool. And then I think there was even Terminator versus RoboCop, or it might have even been Alien versus Predator versus Terminator versus RoboCop. I'm not sure, but yeah. And then that new Declan Shelby Terminator series, I bought a few sketch covers, actually more than a few. That's what I drew all those. I drew a bunch of Terminator sketch covers, but I read a little bit of it. And it was cool.
Yeah, I had bought that Zach Whedon one, just being fan of their work and his comic work and stuff like that. And there was another one because I just looked at the books that I have in my are all cataloged in an app here, and there's one other one that I must have. There's Terminator 2029.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like same creative team, Zach Whedon and Andy McDonald. So it looks like they did the 1984 and a 2029 series as well. Just looks like two mini series, but I don't remember. That would have been 2010. So yeah, I haven't read them since then. But anyways, I wasn't sure if that was going to spark up some extra Terminator convo or not, but maybe
yeah.
check those out.
I think there was no, I think it was The Matrix actually, where there was a story where aliens like abducted someone and then they were like destroying the world or something, and the guy ended up asking to be plugged back into the Matrix so that he could, instead of dying on the ship of like asphyxiation because it was running out of oxygen, he got plugged into the Matrix so that he could live like another 50 years or something. Even though it was all within a few seconds in his mind, it was like 50 years or whatever. I guess that has nothing to do with Terminator, but it made me think of it.
Well, we were focusing on your Terminator drawing again, so it tied in real well. So
Nice.
yeah. All right, so we checked in with those drawings there. D. Brad, how's the Terminator coming along there?
He's all right.
The Terminator.
He's coming along.
The Terminator.
Going to perm you.
And then for the last round here, a closer look at my Futurama and Jetsons Terminator mashups there, and may add some extra little details as I look at the source material a little closer, but I think I pretty much got where I needed to go.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome, dude.
So yeah, it'll be interesting when these are in the binder to see what attention this draws for anyone flipping through, because I don't know if anyone was asking for these, but too bad they got them.
Somebody's gonna buy those and they're just gonna see it and be like, oh my god, like this is just so such a great combo that nobody would have thought of.
Awesome. Okay, so we are going to do one final round of talking about the promotion here for Carmine Sunshine. At the time of this episode dropping, if you are an avid watcher of Cartoonist by Night, if you're Brian Lynch out there who often watches the episode immediately, you can go to Kickstarter right now live on Kickstarter. 10 different tiers available, and your name's I assume, is this a 100% solo production with the exception of Hans helping out with design and stuff as far as writing and interiors?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, it's impressive accomplishment, especially with talking about the hesitation of possibility of failure when you're launching a Kickstarter, no matter how big it is. But I think it's a testament to your work and all the stuff that we've seen here today that you've got quite the talent, and I think everyone who backs this book is a lucky backer. How about that?
Thank you, man.
Cool. So yeah, check that out, everybody. And then as we do one final round of promotion. So Austin, if people were to reach out to you, where can they find you on social media? Is there access to things that you make, web stores, whatever? If you can just plug where people can find you.
I'm on Instagram at Austin Ackert Art. Ackert is Ackert. I'm on Facebook at The Art of Austin Ackert. And then that's really the only. I need to be more on TikTok. I'm planning on doing some more stuff there, but it's really mostly Instagram and Facebook. I don't have a website or anything. Maybe in the future, but yeah, at the moment you can just hit me up there, or same thing with my email. It's austinackertart@gmail.com. So if you want a commission or whatever, that's where you would find me.
Cool. And all that information will have been across the bottom, as he mentioned, as well as links in the YouTube video. Austin, first of all, congratulations on a successful campaign for Carmine Sunshine, and thank you for joining us here on Cartoonist by Night.
Dude, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys letting me come on and talk about my work and my book and helping me promote the Kickstarter. Super cool of you guys, and it was awesome talking to you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, and It was great too, and especially this is the topic we have not dove into yet with the Terminator. So it's cool to. There's a couple things that we revisited, which is always fun because there's always more to say about certain things. So this was one of the more original episodes with the Terminator topic. So
nice, dude. Heck yeah.
Cool. So that is going to do it. Check out the Kickstarter. Follow Austin. All of those links are in the show notes, and that is going to do it for another episode of Cartoonist by Night because the sun is starting to come up, so we'll be back.
Yeah, got it. Can't get the thing closed.
We are the crystal gems.
Okay.
I was crossing my eyes.
All right, good night. And let me stop record wherever that button is. my Zoom updated, so all my stuff is in different spots here. Future Anthony's going to cut all of this out because it makes me look very unprofessional. Where is the record? Oh, okay. So I have to click the record button, which opens up a tab, which now I have to click recording settings, but it's not in there. Where did that stop button go?
It should be in the bottom right corner.
So there's the end button, which I don't want to hit because that's going to end everything.
Okay. That's what I was thinking of. If you go under.
This has never happened before. Oh, here we go.